In the stillness of a modest town called Bethlehem, a child named Jesus entered the world, born to Mary, an ordinary, gentle young woman, and Joseph, a carpenter of quiet strength. Yet this birth was unlike any other. Ancient prophecies had foretold the arrival of a Messiah, a guide who would bring hope and illumination to humanity. As word of the miraculous newborn spread through the countryside, King Herod, anxious that his power might be threatened, unleashed a terrible decree that left countless young lives lost. Alerted by warnings that reached them in dreams, Mary and Joseph took their infant son and found refuge across distant borders in Egypt. From his early years, Jesus revealed an extraordinary depth of understanding. By the age of 12, he was already engaging learned temple scholars in thoughtful discussion, leaving them astonished. Even so, it was not until he turned 30 that he began the work that would change human history, gathering 12 followers from varied walks of life. Fishermen, a tax collector, and others, he embarked on a public mission that would influence generations to come. The deeds attributed to him were nothing short of remarkable. He cured severe illnesses, restored sight to the blind, transformed water into wine, and even summoned the dead back to life, each miracle underscoring his divine authority. Crowds pressed close to hear his messages, rooted in love, mercy, forgiveness, and trust in the unseen. He communicated through parables, simple yet evocative stories that carried great wisdom, making lofty spiritual truths accessible to all. Still, such impact did not go unnoticed by those who held power. Religious authorities and the Roman regime viewed him as a growing danger. Together, they orchestrated a web of betrayal, persuading one of his own disciples, Judas, to turn him in for a mere 30 silver coins. Swift and merciless events followed. False testimony led him before Pontius Pilate, and despite Pilate's own reluctance, the crowd's outcry won. Jesus was condemned to die on a cross. During those final hours of agony, he spoke words that continue to resonate. Even on the brink of death, compassion and grace defined him. After his passing, his body was placed in a sealed tomb, yet 3 days later, that very tomb stood empty. Jesus had risen. Over the next 40 days, he appeared before his disciples and numerous others, reaffirming his teachings and underscoring faith's vital role. In time, he ascended into the heavens, departing but not abandoning. He pledged the coming of the Holy Spirit, a divine helper who would guide believers and form the cornerstone of a faith that would spread far beyond the land where it began. Thus, the foundations of Christianity were laid, and the echoes of his life and words would reverberate through the centuries,